Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mrs. Lemon? Here. Mr. Lonick?
Here.
Mr. Metallic?
Here.
Mr. Price?
Here.
Mr. Shalinski?
Here.
Mrs. Stecco?
Here.
Mr. Taz? Mrs. Walsh?
Here.
Mrs. Snatchko?
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Student reports and achievements. Ms. Addison Brady.
Hello. So, at the last student forum meeting, we had a guest speaker, and it was Joe Klimchak from the Pittsburgh Pirates, who's one of the announcers. And we kind of talked about how he got to where he was in his position. And the student forum director also received our money from our last fundraiser. And then recently we had a blood drive posted at our school. Student forum has a kickball tournament tomorrow in Williamsburg. And we were gonna hold a Valentine's Day fundraiser dance, but that's currently gonna be rescheduled because we had problems with the venue. We started to talk about teacher appreciation gifts from student council, and at the end of the month we have another student forum visit. The musical at our school was announced for the first week of April, and then on Friday we had a pep rally to celebrate our senior for winter sports.
Your venue for your dance, was that off campus?
Yeah, it was gonna be at the Langoff Community Center, but the days that we wanted it, they already had something scheduled.
Okay.
Do you know how many blood donors you had by chance?
I'm not sure.
Anything else?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Routine business. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the business meeting dated January 13th, 2025 as presented? Mr. Price?
Second.
The second by Mr. Shalinski. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Any questions on the agenda tonight? May I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Mr. Price, second by Mr. Shalinski. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Public comment. Ms. Marshall. Is this one you want to talk?
Oh, I didn't want to speak. I was just,
Oh, I thought you were gonna come tell us all kinds of great information. Okay,
I
I
was-
misunderstood.
I was
I'm
just
sorry.
observing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Just visiting.
Just visiting. Section 4, reports and presentations. Any correspondence this evening?
No correspondence.
All right, thank you. Administration is attached. Solicitor, anything to add, Mr. Berkman?
That's what was contained in the old time.
All right, thank you. Mr. Pushkar, superintendent.
Thank you. Just to note that we had an executive session prior to the meeting for student discipline and to discuss student discipline and personnel. Mrs. Lemon, I took a look. There were 16 people signed up for the blood drive. So that's more than the last time, and there were a few open slots. I don't know if they were going because people didn't walk in.
Right. When I was there, the senior number of walk-ins, so they have a nice turnout.
And I believe we get they get scholarship money because of that. So,
Correct.
so that's,
The more donors, the more
right.
money.
So that's great. So in terms of an administrative report, I just kind of want to illustrate that today is just a perfect example of maybe something good that came out of COVID. We had to pivot today to an all remote day. We were contacted by Pennsylvania American Water last week and said that they needed to shut down. And as you all know, I had informed you. So what's nice about that is prior to the pandemic, we wouldn't have been able to do that. That's all foreign to folks. But our teachers were on point. Great job today in the sessions that they did. Remote, we had some presenters come in and really some interactive Zooms and Google Meets. Our 10-month or our 10-month and our 12-month clerical folks, they were able to do some work. Our custodians still came in. We were able to make some arrangements for them to be here. But really the fact that we were able to maintain productivity, is a tribute to the board supporting all of the infrastructure, the technology and all that that's needed, but also that open-mindedness. And then, knowing that we can rely on NAV to have everything up and running, and then able to go. And kind of the added bonus was it was the day after the Super Bowl. So if you care, it would have been a Steelers Super Bowl, maybe it wouldn't have been as productive. But I do appreciate the work of everybody today. It was a good day, no loss of instruction, no loss of a work day. And so I want to thank everybody for the hard work that they did. And then just on another note, in terms of loss of days, we do have a snow makeup day next Monday. But then you'll be approving the calendar. That's my report for today.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve all administrative reports as presented?
So moved.
Mr. Lonning, second by Mrs. Sucko. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Section 5, Budget and Finance, Mr. Shalinski.
5.1 payment of bills, motion to ratify the list of bills for February 2025 as presented.
May I have a second? Second, Mr. Price. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
5.2 financial statement, motion to accept the financial statement as presented and place on file for audit.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mrs. Sucko. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
5.3 preliminary budget, motion to approve the 25-26 preliminary budget in the amount of $25,948,453 as presented and authorize the administration to submit Act 1 referendum exceptions.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mrs. Sucko. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
5.4 IU1 general operating budget, motion to approve the intermediate unit 1 general operating budget 25-26 to $549,552 with Burgettstown share at $12,413.76. There will be no increase in the total member district's contribution for this budget and a decrease of $25.87 for our district.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Lonick. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Section 6, Education, Mrs. Young.
Good evening. 6.1, Health and Safety Report, I have nothing to report. 6.2, the enrollment report can be found online. 6.3, guidance newsletters can also be found online, or the links to them. 6.4, scholarship information, there is a link that has some noted information that can also be found on board docs. 6.5, professional development, I'd like to make a motion, please, to ratify the listed professional development as presented with costs to be paid by Title II. Linda, Nicholson to attend Pennsylvania Fellowship Program for Special Education Leaders in Hershey, PA, February 4th through the 7th of 2025. Approximate cost is $1,739.73.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Shalinski. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I would like to make a motion, please, to adjust the 24-25 school calendar to reflect the following change due to extreme cold weather. Monday, February 17th, 2025 as a day of school to replace Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025.
Second.
Second, Mr. Shalinski. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I'd like to make a motion, please, to approve the 25-26 school calendar as presented.
Second.
Second, Mr. Shalinski. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
6.7, course selection booklet. I'd like to make a motion, please, to approve the 25-26 course selection booklet for the middle school as presented.
Second.
Second, Mr. Shalinski. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
6.8, student survey. I would like to make a motion, please, to approve the attached kindness student survey to be used at the elementary center in support of a teacher's continuing professional education. Student participation will be voluntary.
Second.
Mr. Shalinski. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Section 7, Personnel, Mr. Price.
7.1 is the employment disclaimer. Vote on there. 7.2 deals with employment. There are 3 items there. I'm going to put them all together. Motion to ratify Stephen Lacy to the position, Giovanni Lenhart to the position, and Gregory Baker to the 7.3 is additional compensation. Item number 1 is a motion to ratify the following custodial positions: Melissa Katuch as of January 16th, Kelly Johnson as of January 17th, and Jessica Charlier as of January 31st, all of 2025. That's a motion.
Second.
Second, Mr. Shalinski. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 2, motion to approve the listed additional compensation as presented. 8th grade volleyball coach, Julia Marshall. That's a motion.
Second.
Second, Mr. Shalinski. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
7.4 deals with leaves of absence. Item number 1 is a motion to approve Roman Error, cafeteria monitor, to the following unpaid day, January 27, 2025, and employee number 097864 for an intermittent FMLA leave of absence beginning December 5th of 2024, and employee 097815 for an intermittent FMLA leave of absence beginning January 31st, not to exceed 60 days. That's a motion.
Second.
Second, Mr. Shalinski. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
7.5 volunteers, a motion to ratify the list as presented. Rachel Henk, I guess. That nature, the position of school musical volunteer as of January 27, 2025. That's a motion.
Second, Mr. Shalinski. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Section 8, athletic and related activities. Mr. Metallic.
The athletic report is available online.
Thank you. Transportation, Mr. Ronick.
Nothing to report, all the reports can be found online. 9.2, transportation agreement. Motion to ratify the school transportation agreement as presented with parent and guardian permission. Mary Barcalos, teacher, and to transport student to McGuffey High School in Claysville, PA on January 23rd, 2025 for the NACLO competition.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Shalinski. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Section 10, buildings and grounds. Mr. Metallic.
10.1, there's the building and grounds report is available online. There was also a building and grounds committee meeting last week. And then 10.2 for the lease, I'd like to make a motion to approve the lease agreement between Burgettstown Area Youth Baseball Association and the Burgettstown Area School District, subject to final review by the superintendent and solicitor.
May I have a
Second.
second? Second,
Second.
Mr. Shalinski. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Section 11, Western Area Career and Technology Center, Mrs. Sucko.
Nothing currently to report.
Great, thank you. Section 12, food service, Mrs. Walsh.
The food service report is available online.
Thank you. Section 13, student discipline, Mrs. Sucko.
There's a recommended action of motion to approve the agreement between the parents of student 2024-2025-1 and the district whereby student 2024-25-1 shall be subject to discipline as set forth in the agreement. The approval of this agreement is subject to final review by the superintendent and solicitor.
Second.
Second, Mr. Shalinski. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Section 14, policy, Mr. Shalinski.
14.1 is a review of policy 103, which can be found online. 14.2, first and final reading, a motion to approve the list of policies as presented, policy 103.1 and 6.5.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Lonick. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to designate the following position as a list of authorized users of procurement cards: A, superintendent; B, business manager; C, assistant to the superintendent; and D, secretary to the superintendent, Board of Education.
It's a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
Second, Mrs. Lemon. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Section 15, 13, old business, new business, we have listed to discuss the LRTA tonight. And Mr. Pushkar and Mr. Bergeron let us know that the LRTA was passed Hanover and adopted. So we just need to decide if we want to also adopt a LRTA and if we were to match their LRTA.
And actually a little bit more too, their
Okay.
LRTA has just,
No, no, you know what you're talking about.
well, I try to be specific in the solicitor's report. Their LRTA is 100% each year for 4 years as a tax abatement on any improvements or new construction in that specific area. That doesn't mean, A, we have to do it, and B, if we are gonna do it, if you wanna do 100%, that's fine. I've done LRTAs in the past that are 100% in the first year, 80% abatement in the second year, 60% in the third year. You control that. I mean, that's the function of the school board, or you don't have to do it at all. The area that they have in the LRTA, I tried to be specific with it. I actually put it word for word in the solicitor's report. I'm assuming you folks know where that is. I don't myself personally, but what I need is, because it's not on the agenda and I need direction, is I can prepare a LRTA for you. To be consistent with Hanover, it would be 4 years less 2 months. But I just need to know, A, is the board, the general consensus, this is not a vote, to do the LRTA, number one, and number two, do you guys wanna do the 100% each year? Do you wanna do, declining? I mean, this is open for discussion, we're in the public, I just need some direction from you guys.
Is it 4 years or 5 years?
Theirs is 4 years.
It ends 2029.
5 successive calendar years.
Is this the start point that we're
Yeah.
talking about?
Okay, it's 4 years.
I guess technically it's
Well, the
all
reason
of
for that, if
it.
you apply for it before, I mean, if it expires, that's why.
I would recommend we do the same thing as Hanover, otherwise there'll be all kinds of confusion.
There was
That's what I agree.
there was some talk about,
It's only on new
it
construction.
is only on new construction.
And improvements.
Yeah, and improvements.
And inside that zone.
And it can only be inside that zone. That's why we had
It's
to
not,
wait
it's
for
not
Hanover.
all of Hanover,
Oh,
it's
I
just,
thought it was all.
it's just
No, it's
inside.
just
the
that
zone.
zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look in the solicitor's
Oh, sorry.
report, I actually
Okay.
put it in there. See, that's why we had to wait for them to do it, because we can't designate what that area of the township is. Only the municipality can do that. And since they didn't have one in place, and we're not aware of them having it in place, we had to let them do that first. That's how we ended up with the zones.
I know there, at one point in time, we had talked about the possibility of structuring a LRTA where there would be the first year of taxes, but then nothing thereafter for the next. Are there other models?
You
of
can
that?
do whatever you want. You can do it 100% in the first year, and that's it. Hanover did 100% in each year, okay?
When you say improvements, can you expound on that a bit? Is that, I mean, what does that entail?
I can pull the statute out, but in general, if you're putting an addition on a building, or an improvement is not, I'm putting a roof on it, okay? It's something that would change the assessed value of the property.
But they would still pay the assessed value, correct, or?
No, we're giving them an abatement. The assessed value would change with
Yeah.
whatever the new, building is or the improvement is. It's just, we're not gonna collect taxes on it
Oh,
during
the
that
new part
period
is
of
the whole building, the whole
The new
building.
part,
Okay.
or the new building, but the existing stuff, they still pay taxes.
Okay, that's what I- yeah.
That does not abate that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's meant to be an incentive to build
More.
in that area.
And is that property that was for sheriff's sale, is that within this?
They,
That's
Andy and them
pretty
took it
much
over now, so,
There's
according to
gonna
them.
be some development.
Yeah, so according to them, they have a game plan to go to get businesses in there. Like, they're gonna start putting, like, making up whatever, set out all these companies to get people in there now, since they have it underway.
Can I make a motion that?
Well, you can't make a motion because it's not on the agenda 24 hours in advance.
Gotcha.
But you can give me direction so I can bring something back to you. So what was on your mind, sir?
To draft the LRTA,
Do we wanna match what Hanover did?
I would say, yeah,
Yeah.
like they said, it would be less confusing.
Yeah,
Well, so, all right, I can do it to match it. As far as the less confusing thing, I would note that, I don't know who their solicitor is, but they now have alert ordinance that actually follows the statute. And that was part of the problem before, is when you turned in the application, everything, it didn't follow the statute. Again, whoever their solicitor is, someone actually paid attention and did a proper ordinance this time. So we're gonna be in a better shape anyway.
Out of curiosity, does our time frame have to match Hanover's, or can we do maybe 2 years at a time? In case we wanna change it again?
Yeah, you can do less, you can't do more, because once theirs expires, then the designation of what that zone is subject to it also expires.
Is it to our benefit to do a shorter amount of time in case we ever wanna change anything, to not do
Well,
to
here's the thing
2029?
about the shorter amount of time, and again, this is totally at your discretion. If I'm looking for an incentive to build, okay, and I know I'm gonna get 4 years or 5 years of school tax abatement, which is 80% of my taxes, okay, that's gonna be more of an incentive than I'm just gonna, I know I'm gonna get 2 years of school district and maybe I'll get more later. I mean, the purpose of it is an incentive. Can you do it that way? Absolutely. It's just you're looking at it the lens of what would be the incentive, because once the LERTA expires, now you're getting the full taxes on whatever the new assessed value is on either the improvement or the new structure.
So so they get the 100% each year. So if somebody builds in the last year of the LERTA, they get 5 years off from
They
that.
still get, because they apply for it during that time.
So this, in a weird sort of way, this LERTA will be in effect, potential to having, feeling the
Well,
effect.
if you apply in the 4th year and you get the 5 years,
5
like
years.
you're looking at, okay, you applied so you get it, and the abatement is for 5 years. Does that make sense? Okay, it's, because it sounds confusing.
Yeah,
Five
just on
years
the new,
no matter.
just on the new.
yeah.
Yeah, you could start in the last year and build in 2029 and be done in it, and you still have 5 years from that
Right,
time frame.
yeah, the application has to be in the 4-year period, but the abatement is 5 from when you applied during that.
It just concerns me because it's just so much money, and I know we're trying to get business in here and everything like that, but it's a lot of money to lose.
Yeah, but you might not get
We're not-
it all.
Yeah,
We're not
no,
getting
we're not
anything
But I
out.
mean, but we really haven't been.
Well,
like,
now we
it's
have,
not-
but that property was under a sheriff's sale, and it was,
Oh, it's tied
it
up
was,
with
yeah, it was a
litigation.
kind of
Yeah,
it was
we
a
have-
nightmare, so now we actually have a company that we can trust, and they're running it and getting businesses in there.
Okay, because the last one just.
Right, yeah, there was no advertising.
We got nothing, so, for nothing. And
Yeah,
it
no,
just-
but Andy and Alex are gonna take it
Well,
over,
it also-
make sure
Yeah,
it's getting used.
Is that, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, even without the LERTA, what's existing right now has now gone back on the tax roll. This is a South Point thing, I think it's.
No,
called?
Star
Point.
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep saying South Point.
We'd
Okay,
like to
yeah.
have some.
All day long.
All day long.
You got it.
But yeah, if that's what it is, even if with or without that, you are now going to get increased tax revenues because a tax exempt entity no longer owns it. And
Well, I mean, it's a positive, but I didn't know that that's what was going on. I've just seen a dead area. I drive past there all the time, and
Sure.
there's nothing. And every time that 5 years or 4 years or however long it is, those people move out of Dodge. And then
Well, they can move out of Dodge, but the assessed value on that property.
it's still what it
remains.
is, right?
Someone needs to be paying that, and if they don't pay it, we sheriff's sale. Well, the county sheriff.
Right, and, yeah.
So we wanna go ahead and match Hanover.
Yeah.
We want
I would think that would
Mr.
be the way
Berger,
to go.
that's what I think, okay.
That's the general consensus.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I will have that for you for your, March agenda.
Thank you. Section 16, legislative, Mr. Metallic.
Nothing to report.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Mr. Felicity, a second, Mr. Lonnie, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank y'all. You too.
Julie, I told you.
I did.
It's exciting stuff, isn't it?
It is.